all, Seriously here with another base tour. Today we're going to be looking at my spurious bulbs, named probably for the background that you're seeing right now. This is a planet with a chromatic effect. It's got the mega flora, back there. I thought they looked a little bit like rose bulbs or tulip bulbs, and definitely some sort of bulb. And so I wanted to make a base that fit them. You can see we got some really nice colors here, like a Miami Vice sort of theme. We got the hyper teal, got some pinks and purples, and something neat about this chromatic effect is you can see the water right near me is orange, but if you look out a ways away or get a little further out, it all turns very pink. And the same is similar with the ground. It's very purple, you can see, but if we get up close to it, it's very orange water when you're in it. It's very gray. This purple has turned gray. So something we're going to take a quick look at before we look at the main base is something we talked about last time, and that is building your base computer really far away or at a distance from your teleporter and it having a bug. This is the base where I learned that lesson the hard way. I built this base computer, just plopped it down without even thinking because I liked the bay behind me. And I built the main base about as far away as I possibly could from the base computer. As you can see, my ship is 260 units away. I think 300 is the maximum range you can build from a base computer before you need to start extending the borders. So I tried to build my own little artificial flower. Obviously I didn't want it to look exactly like one of the bulbs in the background. I wanted it to look like a constructed base, but something similar, with a stem and a bulb of domes at the top. This little building here is the teleporter room that you'll arrive in. I built it because the original teleporter was at the top of the bulb, and I experienced quite a few of those bugs putting me at the base computer, and I decided, well, enough of that. I'm going to build a dedicated room a little bit closer to the computer, and that worked. Even before they seem to have, I don't want to jinx it, cross their fingers, they seem to have fixed that bug. I haven't appeared halfway between a base computer and a teleporter in a while, but it can happen. So just in case, I wanted to appear closer to the base. And I built this one with a nice view, so when you pop in, this is what you see. It looks really cool. Got some couches, this is your terminal where you arrive through the teleporter. This is where your loved ones would wait for you if there were other people in the game. Walk out, we've got all of our exocraft here. And then we have a nice little walkway with all of the quicksilver plant decorations. So we got the trees, we've got the rocks and the ocean rocks, some plants, the fiery planted stuff, some more plants. These ones are underwater. I really like these creepy things because they move. It's great. More rocks. I filled up the extra space. These took a little bit. Some of them were big, some of them were small. So this one I've got the shrub on top of the winter rock, which I thought looked pretty neat. Some crystal sulfide crystals, I guess. And the really creepy alien ones. These ones wiggle too. And you might have seen in one of my previous bases I've put these together in a neat way to make a floating monster creature. Put these little lights here so that you can't just randomly walk off the edge by accident. You can do it on purpose if you're trying. This room that we avoided walking through is a storage. Got all of our storage containers in a nice little neat row. Since I've seen a method of combining these, so you can put 4 of these into one square, it's really cool looking. I'm probably going to do that at my next big base. when we walk out onto the landing pad area here, where we started off at. There are some short-range teleporters, but because this is a very skinny base, the entire base basically is within the stem. There wasn't a lot of space to do a per-floor teleporter setup. So I do have ladders on the inside, and that's why I put teleporters at all, is because ladders are terrible. They're just so hard to use. I got really tired of getting to the top and wanting to go to the bottom and not having a quick way to do that. So I've got one that goes right to the top, and one that goes to the bottom habitation ring, I call it, where my room was. And here on the bottom we have the Overseer to greet new travelers when they arrive by their ship. We've got his station. We've got some statues surrounding the trade terminal there. Nice golden geck. Health and shields, lots of health because this is your base. Who knows what kind of condition you're in when you return home. Maybe you need some health. And the appearance modifier. A little bit of a secret underneath the appearance modifier. Let's see if we can get it to go. Yeah, look at that. Secret ladder. Secret ladder. And this goes into the underwater area. So you can sort of see some glow on the floor from the water. Just access the battery. This entire area used to be filled to the brim with solar panels and batteries. This entire base was solar powered. But generating 1500 solar power from panels requires quite a few, and a lot of batteries as well. To store this much power overnight takes, I can't even remember how many batteries, and you need enough power generated to almost double this amount to fill them up before the day ends. I definitely switched to electromagnetic. Now we can climb down, but there's nothing to see down there anymore. It was all just rusty solar panels and stuff. So let's go up. Let's go upstairs and take a look at the base inside. Let's start at the habitation ring. This brings us up outside to a little square room here. I've put some walls so you can't fall off. Banisters, what would you call them? Railings. So for the habitation ring, I had a room, and I wanted to be able to have a viewing ring, just so you could see outside from your room. But I didn't want those windows to exactly look right into the room. You know, if your bed's right there, you don't really want a window beside that. At least until they invent curtains in the game, which we don't have. So I put a ring around it of those so we could take a look around, take a jog, have some exercise maybe. And this is the room itself. Couch underneath the trade terminal, some more healing and shields in case you need it. Nice bed to rest in, some shelves. It would be great if we could place items on those shelves. Not that we have a lot of base parts to spare to be placing things, but as you can see, some decoration goes quite a ways. Here we got a nice little light table, some chairs, switches and monitors. Don't know if this is a kitchenette area or what, but you know, something like that. Just a small living quarters that I would come and rest in. I wasn't going to be spending all my time here. I explore, right? I'm out in space most of the time. Above that, we've got the Museum of Exotic Glitches. I think I've got all 11 in here. There are some repeats for symmetry's sake. Some of them are way too big to fit in the room with all the rest, so they're going out in these little balls. This one is way too big. It even sticks outside of the ball from the outside. We can show that in a bit. And we can't resize these without mods. I would love to be able to resize them. We'd get some great uses out of these things. And I know I could get a mod because I am on PC, but I know that other people can't, and so I'd like to play the way that the majority of players are able to play. A nice level playing field. So I don't really use mods. At least not in multiplayer games like this. I definitely mod Skyrim quite a bit. So on these floors, we have some planters. We're getting into the bulb section. These planters here denote what will be down the hallway. As you can see, we've got some glow from beneath. Don't beam me up, Scotty. And at the end of each of these will be a biodome with that plant in it. So we got fungal mold there. We can see it just peeking out. And I took the ladders out because you can access them from beneath without the ladder. You can still jet back into the room if you want, but you don't need to. And the way to do that is to use these small cuboid rooms, either glass or regular, but as long as it's a small cuboid room, you will get the hole in the ceiling and the floor without the need for a ladder. If you use the large round or large square cuboid rooms, you need to put a ladder in to get this circle, the hole. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if there's any way to glitch that hole in without, but that's the way to do that. So each of these, not too much to see except more plants. So we're going to continue up. Because of the way I laid this out, I wasn't really able to put a biodome layer on every single layer. So in between, we're going to have a few different things. Here we've got the technicians and their stations. Everyone but the overseer, who's back down at the bottom to greet new people. We've got another layer of plants and the standing planters. I'm so happy they added back to the game. Can I grab some of that? Yay! Solar vine, cactus, mordite, and phaceum. And I got a couple of repeats and some unique stuff upstairs at the top. But we've got all the plants here, basically. Then we have a refiner and food processor room. Again, this was built before the limitation. I did not need to glitch this third large refiner in. That has been here for quite a while. This base is one of my oldest bases. The only reason it's moderately good at all is because I have kept it up to date by changing it constantly. I just made a change today before I filmed this, so none of my bases are ever done. As you can see, we have a remnant up here on the top floor of a previous version of the base when all of the landing pads were up at the top here. This was sort of like the spaceport, area where you would view the galactic map and see where you came from or where you're going next. Got the trade terminal there floating above this little table. I thought it was neat. But I've since rejiggered it and I've changed it so the landing pads aren't up top. Got more biodomes up here. What do we got up here? Oh, starbulb. Okay. And a way in and out without having to go all the way to the bottom or through the teleporters. So I'll show you while we're out here. We'll go into camera mode. You can still catch a bit of a glimpse of it. As you can see, I've got the direction of these pathways leading in alternate directions from the stem. And I did that because you get a bit of an unintended consequence when looking from above. And if you only look at that top layer, you can see a bit of a pattern there. When the landing pads were sticking out, it was a very obvious pattern, and I definitely wanted to get rid of that. So I thought this sort of fractally Mandela-y sort of looking thing was very flower-like, and I liked that, and I wanted to go with that. So one more interior room to show, and that's the very, very top dome. And up there we have all of our unique plants, not very many of them. Not a full stack worth, but we've got our sac venom that we just collected this weekend. We have Gravitino hosts, nip buds, of course, and pearls. So we've got all of the unique plant items. We have a save point. We have another message module, same thing as the other one. And the teleporter back down. Oh, let's not take the ladder. That's the long way. Come on, guy. See, this is why ladders are really annoying. Boop, and there we are at the base. And hopefully, okay, good. Sometimes a bug that I'm seeing lately is these little things that I'm standing on here, in between the landing pad and the door, that appear when you place a doorway or other items at the end of the landing pad. They've been disappearing on me, and it's been driving me nuts. You can get them back by deleting the door and adding it back again, but it seems to keep happening. It's only happened to me once at this base, just this morning, but it's frustrating stuff. Happens a lot in multiplayer, I noticed last night. So we got a couple of more things to view. I tried to get everything in the game that's available to be built to be at this base. Even back at the entrance back there, we had some oxygen processors, I think. Atmospheric processors, whatever they're called. Yeah, you can see them over there. We got a couple of those. and I think that's an antimatter reactor too. Pretty much everything that's available I wanted to add. I've also started gathering. You can see some wires over there. That's for the power. No, that's the power going off this way. And over there is our cadmium source. Regular old cadmium. It's one of the chromatic type metals that you will need in the regular form now and again. So I decided I need a place to store some regular cadmium, and that's right here. As you can see, these ones are flush to the ground, but I have fused quite a few of them together, and I did that with not the technique I showed previously, but this one was with the, I believe we'd call a banjo glitch, so I had a wire or a pill light downneath, and I've glitched all of them using that glitch method, the really tedious one, into the same spot, so that they're flush with the ground. That's it. That is the Spurious bulb. And unfortunately this planet does get storms, and fortunately we didn't have to sit through one. Well, there we go. There it is. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that beautiful planet. I definitely had to build a base here with that kind of nebula, these kind of colors. Isn't it just great? Well, thanks all for stopping by. I'm not sure which base we're going to look at next week. I'm going to look around at my bases and see what we've got. Hopefully I'll get that one out sometime during the week. Oh, there's the storm coming. Alright, well I'm going to say goodbye. Until next time, everybody, have a good time.